So we posted our barbecue chicken mac and cheese meal prep recipe a few months ago and people loved it. And it was good, there's no question about that. But I thought we could take the flavor profile up just a notch without really compromising on the macros. And well, we crushed it. So let's jump in on how to make it. Let's first start with the seasoning for our chicken. To a mixing bowl, we'll add in 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of Ancho chili powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of mustard powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin, about 1/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne or so, 2 teaspoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and then instead of honey like we used last time, we'll go in with 20 grams of brown sugar for our sweetness, and light or dark brown sugar will both work. Now let's go ahead and give this a quick mix, make sure it's all evenly distributed. Alright, perfect, so let's season our chicken. What I have here is 1,000 grams of chicken tenders, and you can see I'm just leaving the tendon in there. I actually don't mind it, but if you want to take it out, obviously feel free. I just didn't feel like doing the work. Or alternatively, you can just use chicken breast and slice those up either before or after you cook the chicken. It really doesn't matter. I'm just using tenders because I'm frankly lazy and I didn't feel like cutting up the chicken. But in any event, hit these with some oil and then take all that seasoning and thoroughly coat the chicken and really press it in there to help it stay. There's a lot of flavor in there, buddy. Sorry, my inner Texan comes out when we do anything barbecue, but all right. Now these are good with all the seasoning on them, so let's go ahead and get on with the grilling. To a hot cast iron griddle that's been oiled, we'll go in with our chicken, and I have my pan set on medium-high heat. And you can actually just use a flat cast iron or even a stainless steel skillet. It doesn't have to be a griddle, but those lines on the chicken look really cool, so I couldn't help myself. Oh, and obviously you can also just use an air fryer, for which if you are, crank that thing up to probably the highest heat it goes, just so you can get that color on the outside. Otherwise, you'll cook the inside of the chicken before the outside ever begins to caramelize. But anyways, what I'm gonna do is take 40 grams of barbecue sauce, for which we're using the Kinder's brand, which is what we included in the macros, so be mindful of that. But I'm just gonna brush it over the chicken each time you flip. So when it cooks, it starts to caramelize the outside of that chicken a little bit better. And look, anytime you can caramelize more flavors on your protein, the better. Barbecue sauce is good by itself, but when it's caramelizing while cooking, you're really taking that flavor to the next level. Alright, so with all of our chicken now cooked, we'll put it in a sheet tray and then set it off to the side for now before we come back to it. Moving on to our pasta, we're obviously using macaroni. Could you use another bite-sized pasta if you don't have macaroni? Absolutely not. I mean, no, I'm kidding. Yeah, you can obviously use any type of bite-sized pasta you want. I mean, rigatoni and cheese is gonna taste delicious, I promise. It may not have the same classic feel as mac and cheese, but it's definitely gonna taste really good. So if that's all you have, just go ahead and use that and you'll be just fine. Now that our pasta's cooked and we drain the water out of it, we'll add a few things here. First, we'll go in with 80 grams of whipped Greek cream cheese or any low-fat cream cheese that you can find. I know whipped Greek cream cheese is hard to find. 60 grams of sharp cheddar, which I just diced up like so here. And then to take this mac and cheese to the next level and add the smokiness I'm looking for, I have 80 grams of smoked gouda, which is such a damn good cheese. I can't believe I left it out of the first recipe. Huge mistake on my end. But either way, start mixing this together while the pasta is still hot. And once it starts coming together, you can go in with 4 ounces of 1% milk to start smoothing everything out. So keep mixing this, and then once it all comes together like you like it, we can then go in with some salt, and I'm probably using about a teaspoon or so here, and then some freshly cracked black pepper, which is probably another teaspoon on my end. And then just make sure it all gets mixed in well, and once it's there, we're ready to prep. Last time we portioned everything out on each end of the bowl, but today I wanted to stack things on top of each other because I wanted that barbecue sauce to start seeping into the macaroni and cheese. So first I'm going to start with the macaroni and just position it on the bottom like so, make sure it's all well distributed and organized in our bowls. And then we can start layering on top our grilled chicken, which will start adding that barbecue flavor to the mac and cheese like we talked about. But then what we'll do is take the remaining 40 grams of barbecue sauce and start adding that over the top as well. So now everything is sort of mixed together flavor-wise. And finally, I'm just going to top all this off with some freshly chopped parsley for garnish like so. Alright, now this is easily the winner between our two recipes. It's got that sweetness, the smokiness, the caramelized flavor we wanted. So needless to say, just make it. I promise you, you will not regret making this for your meal prep.